Hello everyone and welcome to my first Redstone tutorial. In this tutorial I will be showing you how to make a capture point minigame in survival. Of course I will be using creative to make it, but this is a lovely example that I built in survival. How it works is you're just playing around here with your friends, and then if you step on a point, your bar will slowly fill up, and once you get all the way to the maximum point, it will stay that color. Unless someone else captures this point, then their bar will fill up, and then your bar will empty. It looks like it could be challenging, but do not worry, it is actually quite simple. This video will be split into 3 parts. The first part is this part where I explain what it is and try and sell you on the idea. The second part is where I explain how it works by walking you through an already built redstone contraption in a test world. And the third part is basically just the block by block tutorial. The timestamps should be on the screen right now. And they should also be in the description in case you're on mobile and don't feel like using your fat finger to scrub all the way there. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. So this is a nice little capture point game, as you saw in the introduction, and it can also be completely reset with a button in the spawn. This version of the game has 3 points. There is one on this side that can be captured, one in the center, and one on this side that can be captured. I will just be showing you one part in the center, however, it's really easy to string these together and expand. This version in this world is a bit more chaotic than my more streamlined version that I spent some time working on. So let's get into how it works. So this is the redstone for the system. As you can see, it's broken into a few different parts. We have our clock over here that keeps consistent timing. We have our counter system right here. We have our score displaying / keeping system. And we have our lock, which locks the score into a position when we get there. So if I were to demonstrate this, I step on the pressure plate, which allows current to flow to this dropper. It also locks this hopper. And as this hopper fills up, these light up one by one. And as these light up one by one, it reaches the end here, which then unpowers that, which then powers that, which then lights this up all the way and creates a lock. However, this lock can be released if we release this piston, causing the entire thing to resort back to normal. This is the master clock, which does all the timing for the entire game, and that is fed into this repeater. This repeater is locked because this torch is currently on, but it can also be locked because the red pressure plate can be pressed. When you step on this, that torch turns off, allowing this dropper to fill up with things. It also locks this hopper so nothing can drain out of it. And as the hopper fills up, we have these comparators right here that slowly more and more fill up. And by using comparators in the subtract configuration, and by having a single iron sword in there, we can make it nice and compact. So every time a sword gets deposited, it goes up by one little section right here. Then, when this redstone is lit, current runs through there, and then up a tower to your lights. Of course, your lights would probably be much higher, because this is just an example of how this all works. Then, once it reaches the end, we have a few different places the redstone current goes. One of the spots is to the lamp, obviously. Another spot is to the victory line. What this does is it goes to the red reset lock area, so that would power this block on the red side. And another place it goes is also to this lock, where it makes this entire thing fill up permanently. If you're also using a larger system, you'd have a line going from here to another one of these systems. However, you'd have a piston right here. So anyways, let's get to building it, if that description made any sense. The first thing we're going to start out with is the counting system. You're going to want to place a dropper facing in the direction you want your lights to be in. Then you're going to take a hopper and make it face into the dropper. Then you're going to take a block, put it right behind the dropper, and take a block and put it right there. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to make an L. You're going to bring this out a few. Torch, dust, 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 repeater, and repeater. Just like that. And this is our counting system. We will have our clock input go right there, and we will have a repeater as well as the blue pressure plate feeding into this system. You're going to get sword. I'm going to put this in my survival inventory, and you're going to put 5 swords into the dropper. Next, you're going to take... Actually, I'm going to grab a different color for this next part. You're going to take a redstone comparator, block, 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 not that many blocks maybe, dust, comparator and subtract mode, dust, comparator and subtract mode, dust, comparator and subtract mode, and dust, and then one more comparator and subtract mode, then dust. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have blocks extending out to the side like this. Comparator, 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 hopper, 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 and then you're going to put a singular sword in each one of these hoppers. So this is what we should have right now. Next, you're going to go below and put a line of blocks right here. However, you don't need these ones on the comparators, and just put redstone repeaters right there. Next, you're going to take your light blue concrete and put it right up against these repeaters with redstone torches on top. This is going to form the torch tower that is going to go up to your lamps. And you can go as high as you want. So you can place this pretty far down below where your actual arena is. Now we are going to make the lock. What you're going to need to do is go down here, redstone repeater. Let's use a different color. Going to take our sticky pistons, and we are going to go up, face it down. Then we're going to go over here and take a redstone torch right there so it powers that. Now we're going to grab another color, come over here, extend this out by 1, redstone dust, redstone torch. Then we're going to put a block right there, and we're going to just go underneath here until we go to right there, where we're going to go down by 1. And now we're just going to have redstone dust running through all of that and put a torch right there. Wonderful so far. Now we are going to have our victory line, which can either just come out of here, or what we can do is we can just put a repeater right there and run a redstone line off all the way to the reset block, which is this right here. Hello everyone and welcome back. Apologies if I sound a bit stuffy. This is what the final build should look like on the inside, of course, where the computer brain is, and I'm going to point out a few things to keep in mind. So of course, in the last little clip you saw, I started building this, but now I've wrapped it all the way around, brought it up, and it goes into the red reset circuit, just like over here. And this, of course, wraps all the way around and goes out from here. As you can see, this is pretty much an identical circuit. You will notice a new little bit of redstone right here. So what we made before was this little thing right here. And in order to actually stop the red team from capturing when blue team is capturing, you just want to place a block right there, put a little bit of redstone right there, and then run our line with a repeater. Make sure you have a repeater going into this redstone dust. And on that side, that's this redstone dust. See, we have a repeater running a line right into there. And that, of course, comes directly from the pressure plates. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring some redstone up to the playing field. So this would all be underground. And over here, we'd have our playing field. And of course, you'd have your red point that red team tries to capture and your blue point that blue team tries to capture right here. And all of this would be underground. And of course, this would go up into a torch tower, and then you'd have your lamps up there. Same with over there. And now for the reset switch, so you can actually reset the game after you're done playing. I use purple here. So in these lines, run repeaters into the line because you don't want them mixing. Like if we just have a regular redstone thing going into either one, when this is powered, it could power the one down there, and that would be a bit of an issue because then you wouldn't be able to play the game. So just 2 repeaters, one going into the top one going into the bottom one, connect them all into one redstone line, and then you have this lovely little button that retracts the pistons on both sides, and then that just resets the entire thing. Super handy, super clean, and you can run this redstone line to a lobby or whatnot. That's what I have on the server that I built this on. I also moved the clock to a slightly more convenient location and extended these lines out a little bit just to give a little bit more space. I'm also going to give you a nice little overhead look at the entire thing, just so you can figure things out. And let's get this out of the way to make it easier. So we have our victory lines running between the two, that one going into there, and that one going into there. And then we have all of this stuff under here. And I think that should do it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will try and get them answered if you're building this. Other than that, tune in next time and subscribe, because next week we have a survival episode from the server, or SMP, survival multiplayer. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and see you later.